If saying no makes you feel guilty, you're not weak. You're trained. Trained to protect other people's comfort at the cost of your own. And the worst part, you don't just say yes. You say yes, and then you hate yourself later. You replay the conversation in your head. You think of the perfect sentence you should have said. You feel stupid. You feel used. You feel angry at them, but mostly at you. And the crazy thing is, you might be the nicest person in the room. You might be the one everyone calls reliable. The one who always shows up. The one who never says no. But inside, you're tired. You're stretched thin. You're quietly resentful. If that's you, type ME in the comments. Because today I'm going to show you simple psychology tricks to say no calmly without guilt. Not by becoming cold, not by becoming rude, but by becoming clear. And yes, at first it will feel uncomfortable. That's not a sign you're doing it wrong. That's the sign you're finally doing something different. Why no feels like danger. Let's define the truth. Guilt is not proof you did something wrong. Guilt is proof you broke an old pattern. Most people who struggle to say no were trained early, sometimes as kids, sometimes through relationships, sometimes through work, to believe things like, good people don't disappoint. Good people don't create conflict. Good people keep everyone happy. Good people sacrifice. So when you say no, your brain doesn't hear boundary. Your brain hears rejection. It hears you're about to lose approval. It hears you're about to be punished. That's why your chest gets tight. That's why your stomach drops. That's why your mind starts racing for explanations. And that's why you over-explain, because you're not trying to communicate. You're trying to protect yourself from being disliked. You're trying to prove you're still a good person, even while saying no. But here's the key. People-pleasing isn't kindness. People-pleasing is fear. Fear of conflict, fear of rejection, fear of being seen as selfish, fear of being alone. And if you think about it, guilt is the emotional leash that keeps you obedient. So the goal of this video is not to erase guilt instantly. The goal is to stop obeying guilt, because guilt is just a feeling, and feelings are not commands. Story 1. The just quick trap. Let me make this painfully real. Someone texts you, "Hey, can you help me tonight? Just quick." And you already know you're exhausted. You already know you don't want to. You already know you've been giving all week, but your fingers still type, "Sure." Why? Because you're not afraid of helping. You're afraid of the moment they pause and sound disappointed. You're afraid they'll say, "Wow, okay," or "I guess I'll find someone else." And that small emotional pressure, that tiny moment of awkwardness, feels more dangerous to your nervous system than losing your entire night. So you trade your time for comfort. Not their comfort, your comfort. The comfort of being approved. And then later, when you're tired and irritated, you tell yourself, "Why do I always do this?" Because your brain learned saying yes equals safety. Saying no equals danger. That's the pattern we're ending today. The tricks, simple psychology tools, has sown the short no. Here's the first trick, and it's the foundation. Most guilt comes from over-explaining. The longer you explain, the more it feels like you're on trial. And when you feel like you're on trial, you start negotiating against yourself. You start saying things like, "Well, I mean, I could maybe, but I'm kind of, if it's not too urgent." And suddenly your no becomes a yes. So you need a short no. Examples. "No, I can't." "No, not this time." "No, I'm not available." "I can't commit to that." "That won't work for me." One sentence. Then stop. No essay. No apology marathon. No emotional dumping. No oversharing your reasons. Because here's the truth. Nobody tells you the more you explain, the more you invite negotiation. People hear your explanation as a weakness they can push through. "Oh, you're tired? Come on, it'll be fun." "Oh, you're busy? Just do it quickly." "Oh, you have plans? Change them." So your no must be clean. Real example. "Can you help me tonight?" "No, I'm not available tonight." And then silence. Your nervous system will scream, "Say more, fix it." Don't. Your silence is the boundary. And if you feel guilty in that silence, remind yourself, this guilt is not truth. This guilt is withdrawal. Your brain is withdrawing from the drug of approval. #2, the bridge. Now, some people struggle with the short no because they don't want to feel cold. Good. You don't have to be cold. You can be kind and still be firm. That's where the bridge comes in. A bridge is, I can't do X, but I can do Y. Or, I can't do it now, but I can do it on Friday. Examples. I can't review it today, but I can review it Friday. I can't meet this weekend, but I can do a quick call next week. I can't take this project, but I can recommend someone. This allows you to stay compassionate without surrendering your boundary. But there is a rule you must remember. The bridge is your choice, not a negotiation trap. If you offer Friday and they pressure you for today, you don't explain. You repeat, today doesn't work, Friday works. That's it. Because some people don't want help. They want control. They want you to rearrange your life to prove they matter. And if you do that, you train them to demand more. Story 2, when help becomes control. Here's how this plays out in real life. A coworker asks, can you cover my shift? You say, I can't today, but I can cover on Friday. They respond, Friday doesn't help me. I need today. Come on. Now you feel guilty. You feel like you offered something and it wasn't enough. But notice what's happening. Your boundary isn't being respected. This is not a request anymore. This is pressure. So you say, calmly, I understand, but today doesn't work. And you stop. No extra explanation, no rescue. Because if they punish you for having boundaries, that's not your problem. That's their entitlement. Hekidri, broken record. This is the most powerful tool in the whole video. Because manipulation survives on your emotions. Some people don't ask. They push, they guilt, they act disappointed on purpose. They sigh, they get quiet, they make you feel like the villain. So here's what you do. You don't argue, you don't justify, you don't defend your character. You repeat. Pick one line. I understand, but I can't. That doesn't work for me. I won't be able to. I can't commit to that. Then repeat it. Same tone, calm voice. They push, but it's important. I understand, but I can't. They push, wow, okay, I see how it is. That doesn't work for me. They push, you always do this. I won't be able to. No debate, no emotional spiral. Because the moment you start defending yourself, you've entered their game. And that game has one goal, to make you uncomfortable enough to surrender. Broken record is how you stay calm while they spin. #4, the 2-second pause. A lot of people say yes too fast because silence feels uncomfortable. They feel pressured to answer instantly. They feel like if they don't respond fast, they're rude. So use a pause. Before you answer, breathe 2 seconds. Then say, let me think. I'll get back to you. I need to check my schedule. I can't answer right now. That pause breaks pressure. It gives you control. It moves you from emotional reaction to decision. And here's the secret. Most people don't need your yes. They need your yes immediately. Delay removes the pressure and exposes manipulation. Because manipulative people hate time. Time gives you clarity. Time gives you power. #5, replace sorry with thank you. Stop apologizing for having boundaries. If you're not doing something wrong, don't say sorry. Replace sorry, I can't with thanks for asking, but I can't. Or I appreciate you thinking of me, but I'm not available. Or thanks for understanding. Thank you is respectful, but it doesn't surrender your boundary. This is not just language. This is identity training. Because every sorry tells your brain, my needs are a problem, and we are done with that. You don't need to apologize for being a person. You don't need to apologize for having limits. Limits are not selfish. Limits are reality. Part 2, the real fear. Now let's talk about the real fear. You're not afraid of the word no. You're afraid of being disliked. You're afraid of losing approval. You're afraid someone will think you're selfish. you're afraid they'll withdraw love. And if you grew up in an environment where love was conditional, where approval was earned by being good, where conflict meant punishment, then saying no can feel like you're risking your safety. So I'm not judging you. I get it. But here's the line you must accept if you want freedom. If someone only likes you when you say yes, they don't like you. They like your obedience. That sentence might sting. Good. Because it's the truth that frees you. Healthy people respect boundaries. Unhealthy people punish boundaries. So when you start saying no, you might lose some people. Not good people. Users. And that's not loss. That's cleanup. If your life gets quieter after you start saying no, that means you were surrounded by noise that never respected you. Story 3. You changed. At some point, someone will say, you changed. And they won't say it like a compliment. They'll say it like you committed a crime. But notice what that really means. They benefited from the old version of you. The version that said yes. The version that over-explained. The version that felt guilty for having needs. So when they say you changed, you can smile and say, yeah, I did. Because that's the goal. 7-day challenge. Here's your challenge for the next 7 days. Say 1 no per day. Small ones, not dramatic, not a war, just practice. Day 1, use a short no. No, I'm not available. Day 2, replace sorry with thank you. Thanks for asking, but I can't. Day 3, use the 2-second pause. Let me think. I'll get back to you. Day 4, use a bridge. I can't today, but I can Friday. Day 5, use broken record once. That doesn't work for me. Repeat. Day 6, say no to something tiny, like a small request that you would normally accept out of habit. Day 7, review your week and ask, did the world end or did you finally breathe? Because after 7 days, something happens. The guilt gets quieter because your identity gets stronger. You stop being the person who obeys discomfort and you become the person who respects yourself. And here's the unexpected benefit. When you say no more, your yes becomes valuable. People trust you more because they know you mean it. They stop guessing. They stop pushing. And the right people respect you more. Saying no is not selfish. It's honest. A yes that hurts you is not kindness. It's self-betrayal. So the next time guilt rises in your chest, remember, guilt is just the old you protesting. Let it protest. Then say your sentence. Short, calm, clear. And if someone gets angry at your boundary, that is information. That is clarity. That is your nervous system finally seeing the truth. If you want the next video, how to stop people pleasing and stop caring what they think, comment next. And if this hit you hard, share it with the one friend who always says yes and suffers in silence.